Tyra. Teen pregnancy is on the rise, and that's not an accident.
You're trying to get pregnant on purpose.
Yeah.
You have a boyfriend. Does he want a baby too?
Now her mom and boyfriend hear the truth.
I've been dishonest and missing my birth control pills.
If you don't put that condom on, you have no control.
And
I really want to have a baby.
this teen returns with a dramatic update.
I was stupid. Thank you so much.
Now on Tyra.
Yesterday, we talked to some teen girls who are virgins, and they're embarrassed because they are pressured by boys and their friends to have sex, and they're actually embarrassed by their virginity and actually quite torn right now. We learned that teen sex rates are down for the first time in many years, and not everyone is doing it, which surprised me because I thought teens were doing it more than ever. But today we're talking to teen girls who are part of the reason why teen pregnancy rates are up for the first time in 10 years. So get that. Teen sex down, teen pregnancy up. And like we learned in a national Tyra Show teen sex survey, those rates are not an accident. A lot of teen girls are trying to get pregnant. Not an accident. They're trying to get pregnant. And this trend is alarming. Even the New York Times talked about what our Tyra Show survey uncovered. Now, there are 3 teens on our stage right now, and they admit that their lives have been turned upside down since they found out that they are pregnant. Tamara is 7 weeks pregnant. Katrina is 8 months pregnant. And Marie is 6 months pregnant. First of all, just seeing you guys, baby faces up here, and seeing, you're not showing yet, but just seeing these girls with these, I mean, I'm looking at you, Marie, and you're a baby, and you have a baby inside of you, but we're gonna get to you in a second. I wanna talk to Tamara first. Tamara, you just found out that you're pregnant. How many weeks again?
I'm actually 8 weeks right now.
8 weeks pregnant now. Okay, so how did you get pregnant? Do you remember?
Well, I had sex with this guy at one time at a party, and I was completely drunk. And I don't drink. It was a one-time thing. And I just don't remember it. And next thing I knew, I was pregnant. Took 3 pregnancy tests because I just didn't want to believe it. And I was pregnant.
So you kept taking, like in the movies, when those women keep on taking the pregnancy test over and over and over again because they're like, oh my gosh.
Yep, I took 2 at home. I was by myself because I didn't want really anybody to know if I was or not. So then when those 2 became positive, I was like, okay, no, this can't happen. So I went to the doctor, and they told me I was pregnant.
And they told you were pregnant. And it's a guy you just met at a party.
Yeah, I've known him for a bit, but like we just never really had like sexual relations or anything like that. It was one time, big mistake. And
did you tell him?
Yeah, I told him.
What did he say?
He was very mad at me. He yelled at me. He was like, oh, I don't want you to have this kid. I'm having it either way. I'm like, I don't care what you say. I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to punish a baby for my mistake. And he was just mad and just yelling at me. He's like, oh, I don't want to be a father. And he was just so mean to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was his reaction. What about your family's reaction? Your mom and stepdad are here today. What was their reaction?
They were pissed. They were so mad at me. Like, I felt that they were embarrassed of me, and I didn't want to have it. I just wanted to skip town and leave. And I was like, come back in 9 months and give it up for adoption and pretend it won't happen. Like, it has never happened. And just...
So you want to give it up for adoption, the baby?
Yeah.
Now, you have something in common with your mother in terms of this. Tell me.
The day that I told her that I was pregnant was the day she found out she was pregnant with me. And, like...
Same day?
Yep, same day. It was February 2nd. Yep. And I'm due October 5th, and I was born October 1st. And, like, my mom thinks we have a curse on our family because every first girl in the family has a baby before she turns 18. And, yeah, here I am.
Wow. A curse or just a drunken night, right?
Yeah.
I think we should take responsibility for our actions. Tamara's mom, Nikki, and her stepdad, Jason, I spoke about them earlier, they're here. Okay, how do you feel about this, Mom, with her doing the almost exact thing you did?
Well, I was hoping it wasn't going to happen quite this way. I was hoping, you know, I've had her on birth control for a couple of years, and so that just kind of, I had asked her if she had been having sex, and she said, oh no, Mom, I'm not doing that. Well, a couple days later, find out that she was pregnant. I felt betrayed, lied to.
Betrayed. And then stepdad's here. How did you feel?
I was probably initially beyond furious. I really had a hard time with it right away. I had raised her since she was 4, and you try to instill the values, and I usually played the role of the parent that was trying to police everything. Where are you going? Who are you talking to? And as she started getting into the teen years and she started playing around on MySpace and stuff, you know, I'd noticed that she'd talk to people that are a little bit older than she should be, and maybe portraying herself in her profile as 18 when she was 16 or 17, and those little things made me really mad. So I was always the guy, where are you going? Who are you with? What are you doing? And we always had a lot of fights about that because she was like, you're Mr. Nosy, you're always going through my stuff, going through my business.
And you thought policing would not make this type of thing happen.
Right, right.
How old is the father?
23.
He's 23. And you're a minor. So statutory rape.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, Dad?
Pretty mad. Very angry. Very angry.
Okay. Now you want to give your baby up for adoption.
Yeah, but then again, I want to keep it.
But then again, you want to keep it. Mom, you shook your head when I asked her that. Because?
My grandbaby. I want her to keep it. I'll help raise it.
It's not that I don't want her to raise it. I want my baby to have a good family.
Help us to raise it.
I know, Mom, but I want my baby to have a family. I want my baby to have a father that's going to be there. And I want my baby to have everything he wants, or like a functional family.
Joining us is Dr. Gail Saltz. She's the Associate Professor of Psychiatry at New York Presbyterian Hospital. Gail, I want to ask you about this because she's saying that she wants to give her baby up for adoption. Mom's saying, that's my grandbaby, and I want to keep it.
Yeah.
I know, Tamara, you say you don't even like kids.
No, I don't like kids.
You know, I think that's hugely important. That's hugely important.
I mean,
and as painful as it will be for you, and I think you're right to put in your opinion that you would help, you would be there, you would raise it, to make all those offers, but at the end of the day, the mother's the mother, even when she's a child. And if she's saying, I don't want to be a mother, I don't even like children, and let's face it, you know, she's too young to really take that responsibility. I think she's making a responsible to the baby choice.
So do I.
I want to
feel it
have a
very
family for this child.
mature.
I support her.
Do you really
whatever
support
she
her? Or
decides.
are you supporting her on TV right now? But when we
I've told her I support her, whatever she decides. I just don't want her to, and if she really decides that she needs to do that, then that's what she needs to do.
I know so many women that cannot have a baby.
I know.
That have a father and a mother that, you know, that would take, whether it's your daughter's child or so many other children, children of children, and would raise them in a really great, perfect, not perfect, what's perfect, you know, but a beautiful home. And I commend you, Tamara, for saying that you want to possibly give your baby up for adoption. I feel it's very unselfish of you and very mature of you to understand that you don't like kids. There is nothing wrong with not liking kids, but there is something wrong with not liking kids and bringing one into the world and trying to raise it when you don't like kids.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, we'll be right back.
Up next.
I can feel him kicking a lot. Now I have this visible and this actual feeling that I'm gonna have a baby. I'm just really scared about that.
And later, this teen is actually trying to get pregnant.
I've been missing my birth control pills. I've just been dishonest to my boyfriend about it.
Why is the teen pregnancy and birth rate up for the first time in 10 years? I'm finding out by talking to pregnant teens who will all have their first babies this year. Now, Marie, how many months are you?
I'm 6, almost 7.
6 months, almost 7. Now, before the break, my producer was talking to you, and you were holding your tummy and saying something. What were you saying?
He's kicking.
The baby is
He's
kicking.
a very active baby. So I can feel him. I'm sorry. I can feel him kicking a lot, and it just, every time he kicks, it kind of just, it gives me a lot of emotion. Just
like what kind of emotion?
The fact that, you know, now I have this visible and this actual feeling that I'm gonna have a baby, and I'm gonna be in control of another life. It's It's very overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Is it scary?
Very.
You're scared.
I mean, I always thought of myself as a very, very smart girl. But I mean, no matter how smart you are, you don't know what it's like to take care of another life until you actually do. And I'm just really, really scared about that.
I know you said you feel like what? You feel like an animal? What?
Sometimes I feel like a whale. I mean,
whale.
I was very petite before. I was a lot smaller, and I mean, now it's difficult for me to breathe. It's everything. It just feels like I'm so heavy emotionally and physically. Everything's.
Tell me about education.
I had a lot of dreams. I mean, it's not that my dreams have changed. I still have a lot of dreams, but now it's more than my life. It's somebody else's life. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to join the military, and I mean, I had this life going, and everything seemed like it was going to be so great.
So, tell me about your boyfriend. Your boyfriend's here, Brad. Brad, how old are you?
16.
16 years old. Did you want a baby?
No.
You did not want a baby. So tell me how you guys got pregnant. I know you had sex, but
yeah. Of course, it's not that I didn't have any guidance. I've always been very educated. If you're having sex, you're in the possibility of having a baby.
So how did you guys? No protection.
I was using birth control. I was using it as I was supposed to because I didn't want a baby.
Every single day?
Yeah.
Okay. So Brad, how are you feeling right now?
I mean, I'm worried. It's a big responsibility. Have a baby on the way, but you gotta step up. Take responsibility.
I know you're worried about her state of mind.
Yeah, I don't want her to give up on her goals. I mean, I want her to go back to school, get a good degree, you know.
How are you going to support the baby?
I mean, I'm going to do as much as I can. I'm going to get a best job I can. And
while still in school?
Yeah, I'm trying to finish school and get the best job I can.
Now, you say that you think he hates you. Why do you think that?
Before I was pregnant, I was a difficult person. I'm very stubborn, very strong-willed, and now with my hormones and everything, everything's like super enhanced. I go off on him for no reasons. I go off on my mom, and I can see that you can hate me at times, just the way that I am, the way that I talk to people.
Do you think he'll make enough money to support the baby?
I want to believe that, but we're in real life. I mean, we're two teens. I don't have a job. I lost my job. I have a GED. I mean, I don't have a high school diploma. We're living with my parents right now, so, I mean, he wants to finish school. He's going half days and stuff and trying as much. He's working at a fast food place. But it's scary because we might be stuck like that for the rest of our lives, and now we have somebody else we need to take care of.
How much money do you make, Brad? A week?
I probably get like 16 hours a week.
16 hours a week?
Yeah.
Some people do that in 2 days.
Yeah.
So every week you're making about 2 days of work, 2 days worth of work.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know that's not enough to support
I know.
a baby. Mom, Elizabeth, what do you think about this? Your baby girl is pregnant. Little boy's kicking inside of her.
I know. And I always told her, take care. Don't have a baby when you're young. You know, we had a lot of hopes for her. And they're not gone, though. They're not gone. I'm going to support her. And I tell both of them, I'll support you. I'll help you with the baby as long as you're in school, as long as you're trying to get a better education, a better job. I'll help them in any way. I says, I'll be your 24-hour babysitter, only for that, but not to go party, not to go.
What if she got pregnant again?
Well, we already discussed that.
But what if?
You know, what if, well, I told her, I'll help you with this one, but if you're going to stop just popping babies out, and like, because it's you know, like you ate the wrong candy every time. I said, no, I won't help you. I said, y'all, you know, and I will see as they progress how much they're trying. They're really trying to, you know, like when we found out that we were having a baby, I called him and I said, what are we going to do? So I'm going to step up to the plate.
Now, you said when we found out we were having a baby. So to me, that's saying that you are prepared to raise this child.
Not necessarily, because I know they are so young, and that's why, because they're both living with me, and I know that I'm the adult there, and but I try to guide them, and I try to tell them, you know, it's just, you have to work harder, study harder, you know, don't lose your hopes.
What would have been your dream for your daughter?
For her to go in the military or...
To have a baby now?
No.
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 And how do you feel that that dream is changed, deferred, killed? We don't know. How do you feel about that?
I feel sad. I feel sad, but I don't ever lose hope. There's a lot of people that have babies young and they get an education and they become somebody. I think she's a bright girl, and I think she can get through this. Both of them, they can get through this, and I think she's bright enough to, and she's gonna.
Well, she's gonna need you, because I can look at her right now and she doesn't believe anything that you're saying.
I think it's she says we. She's already so much part. She calls him her baby when we're talking about him and stuff. I think she's going to be very I don't want to say controlling, but I think she's going to have a lot to do with the baby.
She calls him her baby. Gail, what's that about?
Yeah, because I mean, I think it comes out of, you know, you're her baby, and she doesn't totally see you yet as not her baby, so there's a blurring of the boundaries here. Understandable, probably not so healthy, because what's going to happen is it may drive her further away, because at the end of the day, when the baby comes out, it's going to be her baby. And she's going to feel somewhat possessive. She's going to be the mother. So she's definitely going to need your help and support, and it's fabulous the way you are stepping up to the plate, but I think you're going to have to hold on to the boundary that the decisions about raising the child will be the parents. And I'm sure they're going to look to you for support, for advice.
I'm sorry, Gail, that was so weird to me. You just said the decisions for the baby are going to be with the parents. And when you said parents, I thought adult. I was like, wait, oh my God, no, parents means teen.
Yeah,
that just was weird for a second.
I know.
Sorry.
And that's the dilemma. That's the dilemma, because look,
parents is still a kid.
You're taking the lemons here and trying to make them into lemonade.
Yeah.
But we have to acknowledge that this is a very, very difficult situation.
I'm so glad you said that, because I do feel that parents, a lot of the times, and I've said this before, that parents, oh my God, I don't want my child to get pregnant. As soon as that baby comes out, let's throw a baby shower. Let's make this a beautiful thing. It's I appreciate you making lemonade out of lemons, but I think we need to make sure that we don't add too much sugar to that lemonade.
Absolutely.
That you're making something positive, but the lemonade's still sour. And it's important for her to know that it's still sour lemonade. We'll be right back. Up next, she is only 15 years old and she's 8 months pregnant. How'd you tell your mom?
I was really scared. I had to write her a note, and I left it in the bathroom for her.
I was very hurt. I cried. And later, this teen's secret plan to get pregnant.
I want a family, and I want to be happy.
One thing, Mark, I have to tell you is she has the control of whether or not she wants to have your baby if you don't put a condom on, because you've given her all that power. Pregnant teen girls who are part of an alarming increase in teens having babies, or I like to say babies having babies. 15-year-old Katrina is 8 months pregnant and will soon know the reality of being a teen mother. Christina, I want you to tell me how old you were when you first became sexually active. How old were you when you first did it?
I was 13 years old. I wasn't ready for it, but it just kind of happened.
How did it happen? You said you weren't ready, but it just happened.
I was drinking and...
Drinking at 13?
Yeah.
And now you're pregnant, not from that guy, but from how many partners have you had?
4.
You've had 4 partners and you're 15 years old. Wow. Okay. So you found out you were pregnant.
I moved in with my dad not that long ago, and I've been on birth control the whole time, and I wasn't taking it while I was at my dad's house. Well, I was taking it, but I didn't have it for a couple days, and that was what happened.
That's what happened. So, did you get pregnant from your boyfriend?
Yes.
From your boyfriend. Okay. How'd you tell your mom?
It was really hard. I was really scared. I couldn't even tell her. I had to write her a note, and I left it in the bathroom for her before.
What did you write on the note to your mom?
That I was pregnant and that I was keeping the baby and it would be all right.
You wrote a note and put it in the bathroom, like on a Post-it?
Yeah.
Like on the mirror?
Yeah, kind of.
Are you serious? Mom, when you got that Post-it that she's pregnant, that doesn't sound real to me. It sounds like something some Hollywood movie producer would script. What did you feel like when you saw that?
When Katrina has bad news to tell me, that's what she does.
That's what she does.
She leaves notes in the bathroom for me.
I'm going to ask Gail about that in a little bit, about what that means, the notes on the bathroom, but we're going to get to that in a sec. But so you saw this note, said your daughter's pregnant. What did you think?
I didn't think it was real. I cried. I went to work and I was mad. I didn't talk to her for a couple days. I couldn't. I was very hurt. You know, I mean, I thought I raised her better than that. And I was just hurt that she got pregnant. She's too young.
You're kind of smiling a little bit as your mom talks about being hurt, and you have like a look of happiness in your eye as she talks about her pain. Where's that coming from?
I don't know. I'm not happy about it. I'm just kind of trying not to start crying.
Okay, so we have your boyfriend here. Do you want a baby, David?
I wish it could have been later, like on, but accidents happen, and I'm gonna be there with her to support it.
Tell me what's up with school for you, Katrina.
I just started getting home tutored. I've gone to school this whole time. I have no plans at all of dropping out. I'm gonna finish school.
So why home tutoring? Did it get hard being pregnant and showing it to me at school?
It wasn't hard that people were making fun of me because I was pregnant. It was just I had a lot of complications in my pregnancy and stuff, and just I was missing too much school, so I just got a home tutor.
What about those rumors that started?
There were a lot of rumors at first that I cheated on David and it wasn't his, and it was really hard. I would come home crying almost every day. It was hard, but people it's not new news anymore that I'm pregnant. People kind of just stop talking.
So now you're being homeschooled. How is your day what are you doing at home?
I sit at home by myself like all day while he works, and my mom's at work and my little brother's at school, so I'm just home by myself all day.
And what does that feel like, just being there by yourself?
It's really sad. I don't get to do anything. My friends they're not the same. They don't come around as much. Some of them still call to make sure I'm all right and stuff, but I don't get invited to hang out and do stuff anymore.
So, Jennifer, your mother is going to be a teen mom. What do you have to say about that? What does that make you feel?
There's nothing I can really do about it. I just have to support her in whatever she does. We actually do have several success stories of teen moms, very young, her age, in our family. She can do it. She will do it. She's very determined.
Gail, tell us about this, the notes. To me, it feels like a disconnect. And I know she said she was smiling, trying not to cry, but I just saw something else when her mother was talking about pain.
What I hear overall is not enough talking, not enough communicating. You know, if there are other teens in your family that have been having children early, then you more than even others really had to talk about, you know, if you have sex, you can get pregnant. If you can get pregnant, you can have a baby, and this is what happens to your life. And if you're trying not to cry, I mean, you've got something that would make you cry, and you have to communicate with yourself first before you can communicate with your mom. And it's interesting you said, you know, I waited a few days before I spoke to her.
Yeah,
I mean,
thought that was
go
strange.
right in there, say, you know, forget this note stuff. You know, we have to be talking, and you know, you got to talk early. You got to talk a lot. You got to inject your morals and your values and say, this is how I feel, and I feel passionately this way because I want the best for you.
And also, yeah, she's pregnant now, and it's not too late for the talking to start, Mom, because she can get pregnant again and again and again. I've seen it happen.
Our relationship has been better. We do talk now.
A lot more.
We talk very, very openly about
everything.
No more notes. And email is just as punkish. A lot of times people will do stuff in email that they can't say to your face, and you write stuff down to your mom that you can't say to your face. So you should push yourself to really talk to your mom, and you should push, you know, to talk to your daughter as well, and for her to feel safe enough to come to you. All right? We'll be right back.
Up next.
I want to have a baby because I'm in love with my ex-boyfriend. I think it'll bring us closer together.
16-year-old Jessica is back with some very surprising news.
I thank you so much for letting me come on your show.
Earlier this season, I had on a girl named Jessica, 16 years old, and she was desperate to have a baby. Check this out.
I want to have a baby because I'm in love with my ex-boyfriend, and I think it'll bring us closer together, and I'm really sure that I really want this.
Okay, so there's a couple of things that I just heard. I heard, I really want to have a baby, I'm 16, so that's the shock. And then I heard, it'll bring me and my ex-boyfriend together.
Yeah.
So he's an ex-boyfriend, you guys aren't even together right now.
No.
And you want him back.
Yes.
And you think that baby's going to be that bond.
Yes.
You feel like if you have a baby with him, he's not going to leave you?
Well, he doesn't want a baby now, and he doesn't want to have a baby in the future either. But I feel like I want to have a baby with him, and maybe he'll change his mind about it. But it's my life, and I know what I want to do with my life, and I really want to have a baby, Tyra. I really want to have a baby.
You really want to have a baby? So you saw yourself on TV. You went home, watched yourself on TV. And what did you think watching yourself?
Well, at first, I was like, okay, I regret going on the show because I was scared. I'm going to be honest with you. I was scared that my boyfriend, well, my ex-boyfriend, well, current boyfriend now. Because
now you're back together. Okay. You were scared that the guy that you were talking about.
Yeah, it was going to see the show and then just be like, okay, you're a psycho. Like, I'm not going to date you anymore, you know? But then after that, like, I started crying because I looked at myself and I looked like ridiculous on TV, saying, oh, look, I want a baby, you know? And then my mom, she saw the show short after that. She started crying. She started saying, oh, my poor baby, like, all this stuff.
Oh, it's okay. So you said that, give me your hand. So you said that you were, you felt ridiculous. What was ridiculous about what you were saying?
Well, like, there's people who are like 30 your age, right?
Old, yeah.
Well, like 30-something years old, maybe even 40, and they're still not ready to have a kid.
I'm not ready.
What made me think that at 16 years old I'm ready to have a kid? I'm not. And I thank you so much for letting me come on your show. Thank you.
So you noticed all that from looking at yourself on TV?
I didn't realize it when I came here, but afterwards, when I saw the show a month later, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, I sound ridiculous. Just like how you said in that episode, you sound stupid.
I did tell you that, didn't I? Wow, I thought it was harsh, but look what it did.
Yeah.
Okay, your sisters, you were harsh too. Hi, Patty.
Hi, Tyra.
So how do you feel with your sister being turned around?
I'm glad. I mean, 100% happy. She's not having a baby. She's in school. She's working now. She's focused on graduating. She'll be graduating in June. I will be there at the graduation, clapping and standing up and cheering for her. She has a healthy relationship with the boyfriend, so, you know, I'm glad about that also.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that we came on the show for the reason being, you know, to have you, someone who's so influential in something that she wants to do with her
Tell
life.
her she was stupid.
Tell her basically, like,
Made her
Jessica,
turn
you're 16
around.
years old. You know, you don't need to have a baby.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'm really proud of you.
Huge.
And you know what else is really cool? You don't want to have a baby anymore.
No.
And you have a boyfriend. You have the boy that you
something?
wanted. And you didn't even have to have a baby to get him back, which would not have worked. I would have told you he would have been so gone. Okay?
Okay.
We'll be right back. Pregnancy and birth rates have hit a 10-year high, and we want to know why. I want to know why. Amanda, you're trying to get pregnant?
Yeah.
You're a teen trying to get pregnant on purpose.
Yeah.
Why?
Having a baby right now is just something that I really want, you know. I never had the family growing up that I wanted. My parents split up, and I really think that I could, you know, give a good family to a child, and I just really am looking forward to it, trying to.
You feel like you can give a good family to a child. Okay. And you're a teenager. How have you been trying to get pregnant?
I've been missing my birth control pills, and I've just been dishonest to my boyfriend about it.
You have a boyfriend? What's his name?
His name is Mark.
His name is Mark. So you have sex with Mark and you don't take your birth control, and he thinks that you're on both birth control. And so you want the responsibility of a baby?
Yeah.
Tell me what that means, having the responsibility of a baby to you.
You know, I have a good job. I can.
Where do you work?
I work at a fast food restaurant.
How much money do you make a week?
Probably my regular paychecks are around $250 to $300
a week.
For 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. And you think that that can buy diapers and formula and baby food and clothes? $200 to $300 a week? Do you know what that adds up to a year? That adds up to less than $10,000 a year. That's around $7,000 a year or so. What do you think $7,000 a year can do? Do you know what that can do? No? You think it can pay rent and get a car and buy baby clothes and...
Probably not.
No? Do you think you would need government assistance, like welfare?
I don't think so, because, you know, I have Mark and my mom, and I know that...
So your mom. So you want to have a baby when you're still under your mom's roof because your mom's going to support you.
Well, right now I have to, you know, pay for the things I want and that I need. And I think if I have a baby, you know, I would put my baby first, and I would buy the things that my baby needs before me. So.
And then so your mom would then support you. Okay. How did you meet this boyfriend?
I actually met him on MySpace.
And does he have a job?
Yeah.
What does he do?
He works at a department store.
How much money does he make?
More than I do.
More than you do?
Yeah.
But you don't know how much?
Well, I mean...
But he goes to school too?
Or he graduated. I think he's getting ready to start college.
I know you guys have had some relationship problems. Tell me about the relationship problems you had with Mark.
In the beginning, it was just him, you know, going back to ex-girlfriends and stuff like that. And just, you know, immature stuff. But we've grown up together, and I still always fought for him to be with me.
Oh, wow. So do you think if you had a baby and that he did not want, and he decided to just kind of leave and go with some girls, that you can just call him and message him and leave him a lot of messages on MySpace?
Well,
and he would come back?
I think things are definitely different now. You know, that was in the past. We've grown up together. We've matured a lot.
What would your mom say if she knew that you were trying to get pregnant?
If it was something that I wanted, you know, I think she would be there for me in the long run.
So she would be there for you?
Yeah.
And aid you into trying to get pregnant?
No, I think she would, you know, if it was what I wanted, she would probably try to talk me out of it, but, you know, in the end, I think it will happen anyway.
You want this baby, you know your mother doesn't want you to have a baby, you know your boyfriend doesn't want to have a baby, but it's all about what you want. And you're just a teenager. When we come back, we're going to meet Amanda's boyfriend and her mother, and they do not know that she is trying to get pregnant. We'll be right back. Talking to 17-year-old Amanda, and we're talking about teens and sex. Amanda's boyfriend Mark and her mom Stacy have joined us now. So Mark, how would you describe your relationship with your girlfriend Amanda?
We've had a great relationship. We've been together for a little under 3 years, and we've had our ups and downs, but I mean, I love her to death, and I mean, we've been there together, and I mean, I expect us to be together in the future. I want to be married and have kids one day. I want to be financially stable before we start, you know, everything that we're going through.
And Mom, tell me about your relationship with Amanda. How would you describe your relationship?
Oh, I think I'm close with Amanda. She's a good kid. I'm very proud of her. She gets good grades in school. She's done activities, cheerleading for several years. Was always there for games, practice. She works almost near full time. She doesn't miss work, you know.
Tell me what, or tell your mother what you think your relationship with your mother is like.
I don't feel as close probably as you think we do.
So you crave more from your mama. Okay, what'd you bring them today to tell them? You tell them.
I've been missing my birth control pills and hoping to get pregnant because I want a family and I want to be happy.
Wow. I had no idea. I'm sorry you feel that way, Amanda. You know,
she's trying to get pregnant. Like, that's serious.
You gotta realize that we're still young, and I understand what we're going through. But I mean, we've got through tough times, and I mean, we gotta talk. I mean, having a kid is just gonna create problems. I mean, it's not gonna create problems. You know, if it happened, we'd get through it. But we don't need to, you know, wish that upon us right now. We're still young.
I mean, I'm not sure that that's really the right choice if you're lacking something inside, whether it's you're in our relationship or you're in Mark's. I don't think that bringing a child into it would really be the answer.
And Mark, she's saying that she's stopped taking the pills.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, there's something that you said where somebody in her mindset is going to run with. You said, we're not ready for a child right now. What if it happened? We'd deal. I bet all Amanda hears is if it happened, we'd deal. Did you hear that when he said that? Yeah? Did it make you go, oh, if it happened, we'd deal? Wow. Right?
Yeah, I guess I kind of get too excited whenever he talks about, you know, wanting to have a family and stuff.
He means like years from now after college. Do you understand that? And one thing, Mark, I have to tell you is the one thing about boys and boy children for like moms is you're just out there. You really, if you don't put a condom on, you have no control whether or not a girl has a child, has your baby. So while you say you love your girlfriend so much and you know, it's you and her, she has the control of whether or not she wants to have your baby if you don't put a condom on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you don't put that condom on, you could have a child. And your future can be compromised because of that. College can be compromised. All those dreams that you had can be compromised because you've given her all that power. And a lot of times on the Tyra Show, I talk about female empowerment and girl power, and that is in my core. But also, I don't want to see a young man who has hopes and dreams for himself, for those things to get destroyed because one girl's dream and hope for herself. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, joining us is Gail Saltz. She's the Associate Professor of Psychiatry at New York Presbyterian Hospital. Hello.
Hello. Thank you.
Now, one thing to me, Gail, that stood out is Amanda saying she's craving her mother's attention, she's not getting this attention, and then she went straight to, so I want to have a family.
Right.
Is there a connection there?
There's a big connection there.
Okay.
You know, you're trying to create a being who will love you unconditionally. And so you can get or sort of undo what you felt you didn't get. And that's a very common reason that teen girls try to get pregnant. But what you don't realize is unconsciously you are exactly recreating what you didn't like that you got, which is you've deceived your boyfriend, which is the surest way to split up. You're going to end up being a divorced teen mom who doesn't have enough time or energy to be with a baby in the way that that child would ultimately need and want.
Divorced, or even just a baby, a baby mama.
Just a single mom.
With not even divorced.
And so, you know, you have loving people who are saying they'll deal if they need to, which is wonderfully supportive, but I think the message needs to be actually that you're creating for yourself a future of a whole lot of unhappiness, not just for you, but for your family and for a child who's not asking to get born. That being unable to support that child, I mean, really, if you bring a human being into the world, you've got to be able to be responsibly supporting it. And it's a fantasy you've got in your mind that this thing will love you unconditionally, so you'll have all you need is just love. But in the real world, right, we can't live on love alone.
That is so true. So again, Mark, you guys are sexually active. I don't encourage you to be sexually active, but if that's something that you continue, you must wear a condom, okay? And I think Amanda and Stacy, your daughter's crying out to you, Mom. She's saying that you're not close enough. She wants you. She needs her mom so, so, so much. All right, Mama's gonna talk to you, okay? And then you're gonna write me and tell me how that talk went. And call us, okay? We'll be right back.
Check out the new website with all of its cool features. Talk about the show you're watching. Follow me on Twitter and check out my new MAGA line, Tyra Beauty Inside and Out at TyraShow.com.
I'd love to build birdhouses for the rest of my life, so I've got to take care of my heart. For me, Cheerios is a good place to
888-884-8924.
We talked about a lot of big and really heavy issues today on the Tyra Show. Go to TyraShow.com and tell us what you think. And while you're there, check out our teen pregnancy diary. And I encourage all parents to not feel ashamed or embarrassed to talk to your kids about sex. Because remember, you were a teen once too, with hormones raging, just like they are right now. And we'll see you later.